Hey everybody, this is devastating. This is devastating. I just saw a post by the Economic Ninja. A gentleman, I don't think he knows him personally, but he knows of people who've gotten scammed. I think the top is $1 million. This gentleman has been for the past 8 years been buying XRP specifically, just whatever extra money he had, he would put it in there and had over 1 million XRP. Which today's price is over $3 million. So basically, what happened? He had an LE cold storage device. Now I haven't heard of LE. I'm sure it's very similar to the other ones. And what he didn't know is that when you download the app, LE, there's a hot wallet along with the cold storage. So there's two different wallets basically. So he talks about not understanding that there was two different ones. So, but he doesn't know how he got hacked yet, and so he's been posting. This poor man. He put one video out. The poor thing. I mean, can you imagine? His entire life was based on this plan for him and his wife to go buy a home and retire off of this money, this $3 million that he had. Uh, and apparently it's gone. He contacted the FBI. He tells it in the story. I put the link in here. It'd be prudent for us to help in any way we can. Go over there, give him a like and a subscribe, and just see if he can tell his story and potentially get monetized on YouTube. I don't know if that's his plan or not, but I just looked at this morning, devastating. And a couple things about this. To not even know how you got hacked, first of all, is pretty insane. I have a hard time believing this. He went to local law enforcement. The sheriff doesn't have a plan. They have no cyber division for any of this kind of stuff. With that said, I really respect law enforcement. I would challenge local law enforcement agencies to start taking a look at these cyber criminals, and we got to catch these guys. We got to lock these guys up. And if you are one of those criminals, guess what? Do you believe in karma? Even if you don't, karma does exist. You're going to have a very disruptive, difficult life if you continue down this path. Okay, it's never too late to turn things around. Pick the right path, you dumbass criminals, and see how life will start to play out when you start trying to do what's good in life. It's insane that these guys are allowed to get away with this stuff. And so here's my personal story in terms of how to handle these things. Now I've heard cold storage is a thing. Okay, it's one way to protect your assets. Now I did buy a cold storage wallet off of Amazon, and then I was so wait a minute. This is coming from a reseller. Like I don't even know. It was a Trezor. I just randomly went on there, and so and then I started hearing about don't purchase these things from third party entities because the criminal can go and put the spyware on there and whatever, and you're screwed. They can do keylogger tracking that can see what passwords are and stuff like that. So don't even mess with that. If you're going cold storage, go to the specific company's website and purchase it there. Big deal. If it's $20 more or whatever it is, trust me, it's worth it in the end. But then I'm like, I never buy or sell any crypto on my phone or use any other app that has to do with transferring money in any way whatsoever. Except for Zelle because it's through your bank and stuff like that. But it's too risky because I did learn that how easy it is to intercept cellular signal, and more so a Bluetooth signal is even easier. That it's crazy how easy it is to intercept a Bluetooth signal, and that's how you communicate with these cold storage devices a lot of times. And so the way that I've been able to do this is, it's your self custody wallet, whatever, Binance, Gemini, MetaMask. There's tons of them out there. That's an internet extension that you download on your computer. Once you get things settled, transferred from the exchange that you purchase things onto your self custody wallet, you can actually delete that extension. You can delete that extension, so now there's actually no possible way for a criminal to access your tokens. Now, I haven't done this completely yet. The reason why, one of the reasons is because I use VPNs. If you use a VPN, look, it's not going to protect against the blockchain. The blockchain is a separate network, so the VPN has nothing to do with blockchain, but it does scramble your personal workstation to where it does make it a little bit easier for a criminal to hack your computer. Okay, that's one of the things we got to talk about here. Because I did, my son, his computer got hacked. It wasn't a lot, but somebody was able to get into his MetaMask wallet and transfer when his computer was open and on. So learn from that. At the end of the day, I always close my computers down, number one. Number two, I only buy or sell on my personal Wi-Fi network, but I try not to use Wi-Fi. I use my hardwired gaming computer that's pretty much dedicated to finance stuff, and use a VPN. So there's certain levels of security that you can put in place, and don't check your wallets every day. Your self-custody wallets, don't go in there every day, because if there happens to be a keylogger or somebody spying on your computer, it just gives them more opportunity to see where those things are. I try not to look. I don't have a set time that I do look or don't look, but I know what's in there. Okay. I do have a spreadsheet with all that information on there as well that I do, I know what I have in terms of my assets. And so those are a couple things. Lastly, on your cold storage wallet, if you see something pop up like a free token or something, people can send anything to your wallet. Okay. And if that coin is on there, you'll see it. Don't interact. I learned that. I opened my wallet up. It was a couple months back one day, and I saw these foreign I don't even know what they were. I saw a bunch of tokens here. Just if you don't interact, they can't do anything. Okay. So it's the communication thing. Again, a VPN will not fully protect you from somebody seeing your address on the blockchain. It's a separate network that's in and of itself. Okay. But nobody can actually, you know, take your tokens on the blockchain. That's actually not possible. There has to be an engine, a third party engine to access the tokens on your chain. And so those are a couple things. With the cold storage wallet, you can actually, there's a 12 seed password. You can add one more word and separate the two. And so if somebody does get your 12 word seed phrases, they'll need a 13th, which you create on your own, which is another wallet. Okay. So if the hacker gets in there, they won't see your full number of assets. Okay. They'll see zero. If you make that 13th phrase, there is a way to do. I haven't done that yet, but I have heard people talk about this. And so don't let your personal, your computer get hacked. That's one way that these guys get in there. And this RFID chip, I can't buy or sell crypto on my MacBook because I do have the thumbprint security guard on there. The RFID chip is different. It goes on a sensor, to a temperature sensor to see if you're a human or not. That's a very big. I know the government does use these RFID chips. It's kind of like a fob that talks to your computer. Like I said, I do have a fingerprint that won't, if I use an exchange like Coinbase or Kraken, it will not do a transaction unless it sees my fingerprint. So there's tons of different levels of safety out there. But I put Brandon's link on there. If it just, I don't know, let's help this guy out, man. I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine the depression that you could go into. This your entire life. You get to a point where you finally get to say, I'm going to go retire and buy another house. And he's screwed. He's handling it like a champ. If you're watching this, Brandon, hey, awesome. What I would say though is I want to know how the criminals, the cyber criminals, access your cold storage wallet. That's one thing he hasn't disclosed yet. And I know he does have the FBI looking into it, but I would like to know how this happened. So that's just me personally. Um, Boy, depressing. And I won't go into. I was looking at some charts. I won't show that to you right now. I'm going to get out of here. I just clicked on my other monitor. Green candle on Bitcoin, the daily candle. Green one on Ethereum. Green candle on XRP, which is a little bit higher, up to 236. Solana is at 187 with a green candle as well. So all these markets have a green candle. They're not huge. And then that VIX index that I talk about has a big red candle, which is good because that's usually meaning that risk on asset classes pump, or I should say increase. When the VIX index increases, risky assets decline. When the VIX index declines, risk on asset classes usually increase. Okay, that's my message for today. Hope all you got something out of that. If you would hit that subscribe, please. I've got some recent subscribers. I really appreciate it. That thumbs up and share this stuff, because I do have the link for Brandon's story in there. Click on there and just let's get him some subscribers and views and see if we can help this poor man turn his life around here. So, all right, Crypto Hops.